everybody. I hope this finds you well and enjoying a very rainy um, Wednesday here, at least in Connecticut. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a conversation I had the other morning with a friend. He was feeling down. He was out of a job. He was feeling challenged by his relationship with his wife and his son, feeling abandoned, left out, scared, lost, concerned, and my mouth popped. This is really not a COVID 19 pandemic, it's a fear pandemic. And we are all suffering the consequences of what I would consider a soul sickness. And what that means, so let's ask that question. What does a sick soul look like? And here we go. This is just a tip of the iceberg. But, when our pet temperaments are selfish, when we react instead of respond, when we make decisions that only serve ourselves, when we don't consider the lives and feelings of others, when we abandon our moral instincts, when we forget our human nature to love one another, when we hoard and consume recklessly, when we forget to be grateful, when we don't take care of the least of these, when we reward only those that agree with us, when we find rapture in our lies, when the only voice we hear sounds like anger, madness, shame, blame, denial, distraction, and avoidance, when the truth is buried by the myopia of facts that are clouded by opinion. These are the tip of the soul sick iceberg. But what really rumbles underneath is pure rage and pure fear. Now, many of you know that I've started a whole spiritual development called Reclaim the Spirit. And the subtitle would be Dissolving the Fear. Now, look, dissolving the fear because at the root of hysteria and reaction, resentment, panic, and sadness and extraordinary anger is an inability to face fear and diminish its power. And I mean power, because fear has power, rage has power. And I wonder whether, on some level, uh, in the year 2020, we like some aspect of fear. I've long said that the culture is morally anemic. Now, what does that mean? It means we lack ingredients in our blood and our very essence to defy the things that hurt us. We don't have the courage to face the fear fueling the scourge because we've forgotten that faith empowers us to relinquish control. Boy, do we like control. We don't have it. We don't feel like we're sure footed at all. Faith encourages us to believe in God that removes blame, takes responsibility, is accountable, stimulates its own creativity, and strengthens our resolve to live out of gratitude and abundance. But somehow, in our culture right now, it all sounds really, really boring and weak and really non responsive. Oh, please, on some level, give me back the fear. At least I can play with and compare with that. And I feel sometimes that's where we are. We like the fear, we like the rage. We want to grind our teeth against something. God forbid we actually be passive in any way. But I would invite us to consider that we are addicted to this kind of fear as much as we want to be rid of it. This is why I think Stephen King novels do so well. We love fear. We love the negativity. We love to bear to hear and bear the noise and ignore the solution. The problem with fear is that it'll ruin relationships, destroy values, dismantle integrity, and kill the life of a nation, not to mention its people. So, what is the solution? Interestingly enough, another friend of mine called this afternoon and asked, after sharing his own fear, he said, Mark, when are you going to address the stupidity of what's happening in the culture? I'm just so angry right now. Right. Angry. And I'm hearing that across the board. anger, 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 probably because we've all been out of work for the last 6 weeks and we're getting a little tired of twiddling our thumbs. But he's mad. And he called me up and it allowed him to pour out his grief, his lament, his sadness, his despair, his righteous indignation and pain. And for 20 minutes or so, we commiserated. We shared old stories. We laughed and promised that on a better day we would meet again as we did in high school. And the other interesting thing he said was, you know what? He goes, I'm beginning to think that instead of complaining about all this, I actually need to get into the politics. I actually need to get in there and start to talk about what my values are in the mid 50s. He's a 55-year-old man as well. Instead of complaining, instead of pointing, instead of getting angry, instead of getting disappointed, is like, why not me? And I'm like, yeah, man, go, go. And there's all kinds of like things that would stop him from doing that, except that it's only an application. Anybody can run for office. And he's thinking of doing it because he's so tired. He's so tired of the stupidity. And regardless of whether you think it's a good idea or not, at least it's a form of action where he can take his righteous anger that he has and apply it to something good. Good. So, but let me back up a minute. What prompted him to pick up the phone? He was mad. He was mad. And he knew enough to share it with somebody he trusted. He wanted to share it with somebody. He took a faithful leap and he found that the first means to alleviate the soul sickness of fear was to give up its power and to share it with somebody else. And that's how he could manage the fear. He could cut it in half by telling somebody else. He found another person and revealed his woes. And then when I asked him why he did that, he said, because of what you're doing on your podcast. I say that not to pat myself on the back, but to offer as an example of something that I think I can do to help dissolve the fear, and how one effort, at least my effort, and it's God given effort, is helping out another person. Now, in the end, the soul sickness we all suffer from is halved by sharing it with somebody else. We're in the middle of a fear pandemic, bar none. And COVID-19 is just the current cover of an old book that we're going to likely see again and again. And there are going to be others. And we may see a couple of waves of this thing down the road a piece. And as humans, though, we have the power to dissolve the anger. We have the power to dissolve the fear, the frustration, the madness, and the naming the emotion and helping one another climb out of that fear is the first step. The first step. So I would invite us all to take vigorous action and pour love and understanding onto the embers of this fear by speaking to other people and by maybe stepping into some righteous anger, taking some action in a direction that may pour some new life into the future of your life, where you are actually demonstrating the ability to take this negativity and turn it into a positive. So bless you all. I wish you well today, and stay safe. And I love you. And let's keep going.